Well, students, so here's my tile set. So I basically built these by setting the length, how many segments are on, and basically moving pixels around. Essentially, it's not that much. I mean, you can look. Here's the door. Here's the garage. We can go in. See the window right there. Now I've only built one version of the window, and we'll handle that in Unity. We can go off when I can go again, select this, and I do File, Export selected, and save that off. But and you can do that for each piece. Conversely, the other way you can go is go File and just export it all out. In my case, basically, I basically have a file which I basically call tiles.fbx, and that's let's go. So let's go, and so I brought in just the first tile, and I'm going to bring in. This is my material that I used, and because as I used the open PBR, it basically, when I brought this in, it made the material in here connected correctly. You can see right now I brought it in as 1 inch. So I brought it in under as you can bring it in, and it's scaled. If you look at it right now, this box is scaled. It's scaled, which is not what we want. So actually go back to 3ds Max. In this case, again, I'm going to go show you that in my case, I've got my unit set up. Here I've set it to meters. And I'm going to go File, I'm going to save, Export. I have a Lab 9 folder right here. And here is the tiles.fbx. And I'm going to save over that. So that I'm exporting out as meters. All right. And so now when I bring in these guys, these tiles.fbx. Now it's going to bring in the whole scene. So it's already done one of the bricks. Again, the garage door was another material. The human door was another material I made. You see, white concrete is one of them that I created. And then I've got 3 different window types. So if we go bring out, so here's the original tile. Here's all the tiles. I can bring them into the scene. And you can, and we go zoom out. They're big. I mean, I built at 100 by 100 units. So they're really big, but that's okay. But you can see that, I've basically they're all got the materials. So I'm not going to worry about that. One of the things that I can then do is I can actually, so I've got basically this is basically a prefab of all these pieces. Well, we can go here as a prefab, we can unpack completely. And by doing so, now I have different instances. So this is not connected to this anymore. What we'll do here is that we're just going to create a folder called assets. And I'm just going to I'm going to collapse this. So just to make this easier to look at, click all of these, not the file. Let me just click all of these again. And I'm going to move them into my assets folder. I'm going to make another, and I'm going to create a new folder and call these prefabs. And that's where you're going to go. Like this tile door, I mean, this is ready to go. So I'm going to grab the tile door. I grabbed, who did I grab? There you go. So now that I've made the prefab, I can actually remove this. the scene. And I'm going to do this again with the garage, the storefront, the wall, and I'm going to move these from the scene. And that's going to leave me with the tile window. And this is going to be tile window 1. And I'm going to make that into a prefab. And I'm going to go grab, copy, and paste this. This is going to be, I'm going to prefab, unpack completely. This will be tile window number 2. And we go back to my assets. Now, I have a green material here. I'm going to create an orange material. So I'm going to right click, create material. There's going to be window 2. And I'm going to take the orange, and again, base map right here. And that's all I need to do to set the texture. I can now set it into here. And there you go. There is my other window. In theory, I could do, again, duplicate that. That's what I just did Control D. I'll do window 3. And just for the sake of argument, I'm going to do create a new material called window 3. I'll create this purple. And then here's window number 3. I'm going to move this out right here. You can see I can then now, boom. And if you are curious, this is where those are being set. So if you wanted to like change up the brick for some reason, we can go create material brick alt. I'll assign this to the base map, and then I could go, and then again, this is a small change, but I've just now used that alt brick on that. Let's go back to my folder. Here's my prefabs. I'm just going to bring these in window 2, window 3. So now I have copies of those objects in my scene. Well, in this folder. Again, we can go grab the wall. I put this at -60. So I'll put that at 0, 0. This is going to be at, let's say 0, 100. In fact, actually what I want to do is grab, let me see, where's the storefront? There we go. $90. $50. Again, I'm using the local. I want to go back to just my global. So in this case, I wanted to go 50 forward. And then this is the piece I would want to grab. Rotate it around this 90 degrees. This will be at, where is this? This is at Z of 50. So put that 0, 50. So I need to move this over 50 units. I'll move this over. And I'll put that at 150. You see that they're now lining up. Grab you again. I'll put you at 0, 50, 0, 100. paste, and I want to go 100. Oh, negative 100. Duplicate. Negative 200. You can see how this is now getting really easy. Rule you out. I do want a tile door. So this is going to be at negative 300. And then the garage we'll do at negative 400. Again, these are zeros and zeros. And then I can probably put in negative 600. Nope, negative 500. There we go. Ooh. Put the negative sign in. And I can literally grab these, just copy and paste. Negative 500. That's no. So this will be negative 300, and again, negative 400. So I've got this wall already done. I'm just going to grab you, copy and paste. And we know that this is a 90-degree. The Z is 50. And I believe this would be 200. 250? Yeah, there we go. And then I'll copy and paste this over. This is going to be 350. And again, I can just grab, copy and paste 250, copy and paste. Oop. Uh-oh. 250. And these, I'm gonna set these all to 0, 0, 0. We can go back. These you can grab. Well, we can actually use this as a building now, since we moved. To copy paste, and then I can put that at 350. And I can grab all of these pieces right here. I can then parent them to the building. I spelled it correctly. And there we go. There is, hello, there's our, again, maybe this is at 50, and this is going to move this over to 1. I'll do 200. So, small alteration of the building. But here we go. And that's basically, building, how to bring in multiple file models at the same time they're in the same file. Again, do you need to be, again, the way that you build your pieces and how they're set up basically is going to be set up by your team. So one of the things I've got going on right here is I do have this going on right here, and I might actually, what I would go back is go back and build another tile piece that's going to be basically a square that's going to handle basically the hide this. Again, I've only got like what 5, 6, 7 pieces so far. I mean, this is a small tile set. It's not supposed to be an extensive tile set. It's not supposed to be grand. It's just basically enough to get you going and working with what we're doing here. So, but again, throw in trash can, throw in the street light, throw in the street light and the traffic light Um, if you wanted to basically, I'm going to collapse this. And so now I've got one whole entity that's going to hold all those pieces, which is part of what's going on with game objects. Essentially, in Unity, you are building game objects that have other game objects. I am going to go basically do a 3D object right here. I'm going to do a cube. I'm going to set this at 0, negative 0.5. We'll explain that one moment. And 0. Now this is a 1 by 1 wet box. And I'm going to make this 100 by 100. I'm going to make this 1000 by 1000. There we go. So what's nice is that now I've built the building. I can move this like negative 200. Oh, that's a scale. Hold on. Ooh. So I can do negative 200. And I'll move this up 200. That's going to, again, I've got a very large scale right here going on. But here is, what's going on. Now, some of the things I might do is I might build a light piece that I can attach to the wall, which we should probably do. Yeah, you can see the slight difference between these brick pieces with the material I created and these brick materials, because they're different. They're different materials. These have a default specular that's going on that we can adjust later on, but the whole, again, wouldn't worry too much about that right now. So again, bring in your traffic light, bring in your trash barrel, bring in your street lamp, and you're done with this assignment effectively.